And so I said there are 4 cities that every great man that you see in manifestation has subdued. The first city that you must subdue in order to be relevant to your generation is the city within. The soul of man happens to be the bridge of the spirit realm. When God created man, He fashioned him such that a part of his being is spirit and a part of his being is corporal. The harmony between the spirit and the corporal aspect of man is what emerged the soul. He said the spirit was blown into the body and the man became a living soul. And so the soul is a gate. And every spirit that wants to dominate the man tries to find access to the soul of the man. And so in Ephesians 4:27, Paul said, giving no place to the devil. Because the soul is a space within the man that allows spirits to rule over the man. A man will be an impregnable fortress so long as his soul is kept intact. The moment the soul of the man is breached, that institution is already breached. And that which God wrote concerning that man can be sabotaged. And so every man who wants to keep the essence of his destiny intact must fight the war to preserve the soul. This is why the Bible said, the man who has rule over his tongue is superior to the man that can conquer a city. Because the first victory a man must record is the victory within. If your inside is porous, everything you are seeing in the external is a mirage. The day the devil comes for you, he will bring you down. And so a man who is truly victorious is a man that has won the battle within. The first fight every one of us must fight is the fight against internal infiltration. That is the focus of every spirit. The way spirits access the soul is to provoke a protocol of rebellion. Because a man who functions under obedience keeps his soul intact. When the devil came into the garden, he said, did God really say, you shall not eat of every tree that is of the garden? Because the moment you walk in rebellion, you have opened up your spirit to the spirit that you suggest or you submit to. He said, whoever you yield yourself servants to obey, the servant of him you are, whom you have obeyed. And so the moment Adam obeyed the devil, his soul opened up and the devil took over. When the devil was contending with Jesus on the mountain, he said, bow down to me, I will give you everything you see, for it has been delivered to me. Adam never knew territories were being bargained. He thought it was about a choice, and he didn't know that the choice is the key to the soul. The access to the soul of a man is tied to the choices that he makes, because every choice a man makes is a testimony of allegiance to a spirit. You are not permitted to make any independent choice. What you call a choice are actually wills of spirits. The one you choose is a testimony of allegiance. And the way you keep your soul intact is to remain perpetually obedient to the law of God. The moment you violate it, your soul is open and you have lost the battle within. And so we say the first city that everybody must fight to defend is the city within. Unfortunately, many believers are not taught how to secure the within aspect of their being. And so we live looking for what will provide comfort for us. And we don't know that for everything we possess, choices were made. And every choice that was made gave grounds to the spirit that seek to dominate us. When the soul within, the city within is lost, every other city can be taken. But when the city within is kept intact, then the contention continues. And I said the second contention is for spirit cities. Spirit cities are actually dwelling places of princes in darkness. You know, when you look into the structure of the demonic realm, not every spirit possesses men. There are certain spirits that are lords in their own right. They are called dominions. They are called principalities. They are called powers. They are called rulers of the darkness of this world. The darkness of this world are the territories where those beings possess the spirit. They don't need to possess a man because they have their own bodies. They are fallen beings. It is demons that lack bodies. This is why demons seek to possess men. Principalities already have bodies, so they don't need to possess you. When they come into a place, they secure a dominion system that is like a control tower from whence they rule mortals. And so the second fight every man must win is the fight against the spirit cities. And I told us last week when I was teaching, I said, every territory you see today is a mirror image of a spiritual territory. When the earth was created, God designed the earth to mirror the heavens. That is why he planted the Garden of Eden and he asked the man to dominate the earth realm. The idea was for the man to extend the frontiers of the earth realm until the earth becomes like the heavens. When Moses created the temple, he says to create according to the pattern that was revealed to him from the mount, because no territory is independent of a mirror image in the spirit. Every known territory is a reflection of a spirit city where spirit, form their dominion and control the visible realm from. And so the earth is a mirror image. But before we come into the earth, I said there are spirit cities that must be dominated. And I said those spirit cities mirror their dimension into the earth realm. And I gave us instances. I said Egypt, for example, is a territory that stops the worship and the memory of God. This is why when God sent Moses, he says, I'm sending you to Pharaoh to let my people go that they may worship me. That means what Egypt tries to do is to stop the worship of God. And so any state of your time or life where you find that it has become difficult to worship God, know that you are in Egypt. You don't need to travel to the northern part of Africa to be in Egypt. Any sphere that negates or impedes the worship of God is an Egyptian territory in the spirit. Because Egypt tries to stop the worship of God. For you to worship God, you must come out of Egypt. This is why God insisted that they must come out of Egypt. Exodus 8 verse 1, Exodus 9 verse 1, I'm sending you to Pharaoh. Tell him to let my people go that they may worship me. Because if they are in Egypt, they can never worship God. Every time men struggle with worship, they are in Egypt. And some of us may not have gone to Egypt in the natural, but we are citizens of Egypt in the spirit. Babylon allows you to worship God, but it introduces mixture. Babylon will tell you you can worship your God, but there are other gods you need to worship. When Satan came to Jesus on the Mount of Temptation, it was Babylon he was introducing. You are the Son of God. Nobody is doubting it. Turn these stones to bread. Give your allegiance to God and also give your allegiance to me. You are the Son of God. Bow to me. I'll give you the whole city. The glory of the world is yours. You can continue proclaiming yourself as the Son of God, but worship me in addition. And if Jesus had obeyed Satan, he would have returned with the power. But this time around, the power would have been corrupt. So I said in